Congress has known that the Social Security system was going bankrupt, probably for my entire career of 30 years. More recently, it's getting more press because the bankruptcy date is getting closer. So it's now probably 2033. And many clients are naturally concerned that their benefits are going to stop in 2033 when bankruptcy hits. So I think it's important to understand, first of all, what does bankruptcy mean? And number two, explain why that will not happen. First of all, it's important to know that Social Security is the third rail in politics, which means politicians know if they want to never get elected again, they will reduce your benefits by touching that third rail, right? So basically what's happened is we have a math problem. And that problem began with the very first Social Security recipient. That person had a life expectancy of up until about age 77, 78. She lived to 100. They did not address the problem when they realized that was happening. They tinkered around the edges, which is what they've continued to do recently. They've delayed the date that people can start to receive benefits. They are taxing those benefits a little bit differently than they had before. But really, they haven't looked at the guts of the problem. Your inflows and your outflows. What is happening is the inflows are getting much closer to the amount of outflows. And in 2033, for every 75 cents that's coming in, $1 needs to go out. That's what bankruptcy means. It doesn't mean there's zero. If you're a politician and you want to get elected, are you going to tell the people who are receiving those benefits, we're going to cut your benefits by 25%? No, they're not. How do you increase the inflows? You either increase the tax collections by increasing the rate or increasing the amount of a person's wages that are subject to Social Security taxes. And if you're getting benefits, you probably don't have wages anymore. So you're not really at risk of higher Social Security taxes. But they could increase the tax collections. They don't want to do that because politically, it's not a good way to get elected. No one likes taxes to be raised. What can they do to address the outflows? Not a whole lot, because again, they won't get elected. Will they cut benefits? No. Could they change some starting times where benefits get paid? This is what they have been doing for younger people. They've pushed the date back. Can they do that again? They could. Problem is that disproportionately affects lower income people. Lower income individuals have a much greater reliance on Social Security benefits, and sadly, their life expectancy isn't as long. So if you're forcing them to wait, they're going to collect less benefits, which means they themselves are suffering. So politically speaking, we may have maxed out that point to delayed distributions. So what are they likely to do? They're probably just going to grab funds from our normal taxes that we pay to the federal government, transfer it over to the Social Security Administration. That's the easiest thing for them to do, and I think that's what's going to happen because they've known about this for over 30 years, and they kept kicking the can down the road, kicking it down the road, and I think they broke the can. It can't be kicked any further, so I think that's what's going to happen. Within the last 12 months, we can point to two big things that both sides did that actually affect this calculation in the wrong direction, which shows they don't care about this bankruptcy. Before Biden left the office, he signed the Social Security Fairness Act. It increased the outflows to folks who didn't pay in a lot to Social Security, but an argument was made that they should get a benefit even though they're benefiting from another system. Outflows increased, inflows didn't change at all, bankruptcy gets faster. What is President Trump suggesting? He wants to exempt tips from Social Security tax. He wants to exempt the Social Security benefit receipts from taxation. What does that do? decreases inflows, doesn't change the outflows. They're smart enough to know that their actions make the problems worse, which leads me to believe that they're just going to default to the easy answer, which is we're going to redirect money from our general tax collections into the Social Security Trust Fund, make it solvent, and what happens with that? The deficit gets bigger, and that's a whole different story. But your benefits, if you are receiving them today, there is no way on this planet that Congress is going to say, we're reducing your benefits.